There are many great stories set upon the open sea, stories of pirates in search for treasure, stories of battles ship on ship as cannonballs fly across the ocean, stories of explorers trekking distant lands. Chapter 27 has some sea adventures. It's a story of Paul as he's handed over to a Roman centurion to be escorted as a prisoner to Rome. They begin their journey and they don't get off to a good start. The weather isn't perfect and suddenly winter begins to set in. They're missing their key window to travel all the way to Rome. Paul warns the centurion that it's now too dangerous. That key window of opportunity is gone. He's speaking both prophetically but also very practically. He spent many years travelling across the Mediterranean. The centurion doesn't take Paul's advice. He puts his faith instead in the man who runs the ship. In many ways, finance dictates they must leave now if they're going to make some good profit. And so they set sail as a good breeze kicks off. But very quickly the breeze becomes a storm. It becomes a typhoon. Suddenly the ship is thrown into chaos. All of the cargo has to be tipped over the side, and a tackle to help the ship slow down at key moments is also thrown overboard. They need to make the boat as light as they can. The seas were getting more and more dangerous. Hope is lost. 276 people on the boat, and it looked like this was the end. But then Paul speaks to all of those on board as the storm swirls around them. He starts by saying, "I told you so," just the words I'm sure they wanted to hear. But then he says, "Take heart, not a single person will die, but the ship will be lost." Paul speaks prophetically into the hopelessness. There's a challenge here for us as the church. We are called to speak prophetically into hopeless situations. It's interesting that the men had made a rash choice based on finance to take the dangerous journey. When we look around society, often people have made bad decisions based on finance. But into these situations, we are called to speak God's word. And what I love about this passage is that Paul doesn't just speak God's word. Paul steps up. Although he is a prisoner, he begins to lead. He takes a leadership role. First of all, he stops the sailors from trying to escape and save just their own skin. And then, as the storm continues, 14 days long, he tells everyone to have some food just before they hit land. And when the boat runs aground, everybody bails off the ship and everybody makes it to land. They all survive. Paul's words come to pass. Where in society is God calling us to speak into hopelessness? What is the message God is giving us to speak? And when that message gets traction, will we, like Paul, get up and get leading?